Okay, guys, we are going to get started here with some recognition before we get into our November 8-minute call. So let's go ahead and start recognizing some of our top performers. So top agents company-wide, number one is Kathleen Chilton, $266,000 total gross commission, closed and or scheduled to close by the end of this year. Reminder, this includes pending, anything that's scheduled to close. Number two, Kevin Gallagher, $229,000. Number three, Madonna Bosa, $203,000. Number four, Kim Elliott, $188,000. And number five, Mila Elliott at $186,000. All right, next up, we're going to look at Chesapeake top agents. Number one, Kathleen Chilton, $266,000. Number two, Madonna Bosa, $203,000. Number three, Beth Lynch, $181,000. Number four, Tiffany Thomas at $95,000. And number five, Dawn Jordan at $85,000. All right, next up, we're going to look at Kempsville. Number one, Kim Elliott, $188,000. Number two, Erica Rich, $139,000. Number three, Terry Van Horn, $133,000. Number four, Megan Heisman at $93,000. Number five, Sarah Fitzgerald at $48,000. Okay, next up, Newport News. Number one, Kelly Robertson at $141,000. Number two, Kathy Gwynn, $135,000. Number three, Kit Lockett, $123,000. Number four, Jim Haley at $115,000. And number five, Rebecca Beal at $114,000. And then in Laskin, we have number one, Kevin Gallagher, $229,000. Mila Elliott, $186,000. Brian Griffin, $160,000. Amy Bonacoro at $157,000. And Jen Lamb at $156,000. Now let's look at our top teams. Number one company-wide is Joshua and Sarah Chilton, $507,000 in total gross commission, closed and or scheduled to close by the end of the year. That is amazing. We will all be waving at them in first class when we go to the President's Club trip. But not far behind them is number two, the McLaren team, $485,000 in total gross commission. Number three, Converge Realty team at $266,000. And number four, Right Price Real Estate team at $215,000. All right, Chesapeake top teams. Number one, Converge Realty team at $266,000. And number two, Right Price Real Estate team at $215,000. And in Kempsville, number one, Joshua and Sarah Chilton at $507,000. And number two, the McLaren team at $485,000.
Great job. All right, let's just do a quick check-in on profit sharing. We're halfway through the quarter. So far collected, Frank Talia is leading the pack at $1,000.27. Tim, right behind him, $319. John McLaren, $214. Scott, $189. Kit, $163. Theron, $157. And Margaret at $148. I love seeing agents' names on here. That means you guys are out recruiting people. All right, welcome to the November 8-minute call. We have some exciting things to go over as we are almost down to 1 month left in 2019. What we want to talk about is the new seller promotion we just sent out. I wanted to go over that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving away a free listing commission when somebody lists and sells a home with us between November 1st. So we included people who have just done it because we know they get frustrated when they just listed with us, but it got excluded from a program. So we went ahead and included them all the way through March 31st of 2020. We sent you some images that you can post on Facebook along with some verbiage. And so basically what it is none of this is going to come out of your commission. So here's how it's going to work. If a client lists their home with us between November 1st and March 31st, 2020, they are entered into a drawing to win their listing commission back. So in April, we're going to pick a winner from the pool of sellers who have bought and sold with us and closed their house. And then we'll pick one lucky seller where we will reimburse them back the money that they paid you for their commission. So we're only picking one winner. So it's a great opportunity for you to get more sellers in your personal sphere. So share that image, get people to list with you because they could be the lucky winner that wins a commission back. Next, I just wanted to go over some reminders on ISA policies. One is agent sent back. So we're seeing a lot of people accept appointments. I know I've talked about this before, and then they send it right back to ISA because they're booked or they don't want the client, whatever the reasons might be. So just as a reminder, if you set an appointment, if you accept it, and then you send it back to ISA because you're booked or you don't want the client, what it does is the system sees that as a strike, and that strike stays on for 30 days. If you get 3 strikes, that are all on at the same time within that 30-day period, it moves you to orange status till one of those strikes pops off. And the reason that we're doing this, and I want you to understand it's not to make your life more difficult, but why we do these things is because every time ISA gets an appointment that they sent out, an agent accepts it, and it comes back to them, they then have to stop working in the dialer, stop taking in the new leads, stop recalling clients, and they have to resend out the appointment they just spent time setting. So just make sure you double check your appointments when you accept them to make sure it is one that you want to accept. Also, canceling appointments with clients. We've been over this lots and lots of times, but I just want to remind you because we're seeing it happen again. You can't cancel an appointment with a client. For example, we've seen this lately, like somebody's credit was low, so they went ahead and just talked to them over the phone and canceled with them. Or it conflicts with their schedule, so they cancel with the client. Even if somebody's credit's low, you still want to meet with them. Even if it's just a 15-minute meeting. 1, you want to put them on a plan to be able to help them be able to buy. And 2, it's a great way to build your pipeline and get referrals from them. When you sit down with somebody who has credit problems and doesn't have a high enough credit to buy right this second, and you actually work with them, you will get that back tenfold. They will refer all of their friends to you because you're the one agent that actually spends time with them to help them be able to purchase. Also, I have, the agents that I've worked with in the past and coached them, they're now some of the top agents in the companies because they took the time to build their pipeline. They worked with these people, put them on a plan. 4 to 6 months, they're able to close and they're now reaping the benefits. So if you do cancel those appointments, just as a reminder, it's going to count as one of those strikes. So you don't want to do it because it really is not in the best interest of the client. Also, don't talk to ISA for non-ISA related questions. So we've had some people popping in here to kind of chat with ISA. I will be over in ISA and I'll be coaching them, and all of a sudden one of you guys call them and you're wanting to know, like, hey, I'm not getting appointments. Am I showing up in the algorithm? Why did you send this to me? All of these different things. ISA has no control over that. They also cannot fix your stats. So just make sure you're not contacting ISA over non-ISA related issues. Make sure those go to your managing partner. If you need to update them on a client, that can't be done in the notes, just send them an email. But remember, they can't fix those stats for you. They can't see why you're not coming up in the algorithm. Those all need to go to your MP, and they'll work with the ISA manager on that. So just make sure you're doing that. And again, the whole reason behind this, again, is not to make your life more difficult, but every time ISA has to answer the phone or stop and talk to somebody that's not related to setting an appointment, it takes them out of the dialer. It takes them out of setting new appointments for you. Okay, accepting appointments. I sent an email out about this week. We did some checking in on the texting, and we had very, very, very low actual click rate in the texting. And I got some feedback from agents, and a lot of people said, the text, because it limits the characters they can see, they aren't really able to, they're not accepting it through text because they want to see their email. So we're removing the text feature. Just make sure you have your email alert set up. A lot of your phones, if you set it as a VIP or you set a special alert to it, it'll pop up just like a text, so you know it's there. So that way you can go in and accept the appointments. But we went ahead and removed that. It's just an extra step. And if people aren't using it, we want to make sure we're trying to get the appointments to you as quickly as possible. Okay, reminder, most leads, if you look at stats nationwide, most leads that are generated, not personal sphere, but most generated leads are a good 6 to 8 months out. Don't discard them just because of that. We're seeing the newer hungry agents take these, and when you get in front of the person, sometimes you can actually move their timeline up. I saw an appointment come across last week where someone had VA eligibility. They are moving, they're downsizing, to move where their grandkids are. And they said, well, we think we want to go in March of next year. But actually, once they got in front of them, they were able to move their timeline up. And so just make sure you're building your pipeline. Even though they may not be ready to buy right now, go ahead and meet with them, get them in your pipeline, because you're going to be reaping those benefits in the next 3 to 6 to 8 months as all of those start to procure. So just a reminder, most generated leads are 6 to 8 months out. So make sure you're taking them and working them. Okay, we're also hiring a few positions in ISA. If you know someone or it's something that you might be interested in, email Edie their resume or your resume, and she can see if it might be a good fit. Just as a reminder, as we're closing out the year, we've really compacted the expectations of what we have for our agents to make it much easier on you guys. So as we're getting ready to start 2020, I just wanted to do a quick reminder. There's really only 3 things that we expect from our agents. One is that they close a minimum of 4 houses a year. That's the minimum, and most of you are doing well over that. 2 is they watch this call every month, along with doing their virtual trainings in their offices. Some are in office, some you can do virtually, and just having a one-on-one with your managing partner each month. We're really working with the managing partners to create content that can help build your business. So having that one-on-one meeting, for 30 minutes once a month is really what's going to grow your business in 2020. So make sure you're doing these 3 things each month to help make sure you're having the best year yet. Okay, just a reminder, I cannot believe it, but Christmas is almost here. I want to remind you of our Christmas party. It's sponsored by Jones Walker and Lake. It's going to be December 12th, 6 to 9 at Chick's Oyster Bar. And so the reminder, the lenders are going to have drink tickets, and they'll be up for grabs all night long. So we'll be having fun contests to be able to go get drink tickets and meet some of your favorite lenders. So be on the lookout for those. And I just wanted to remind you to make sure that you RSVP. We're going to be sending an updated RSVP out. We spend about $50 for every 2 people that come in for the food and the venue and all the different fun things that we do. So it's really important that we have an accurate head count, not only to make sure we have enough for everyone, also to make sure we don't have too much. So if you haven't RSVP'd and you're coming, make sure when we send that RSVP out today that you update that you will be there. And if you have RSVP'd and something's come up and you're not able to come, go ahead and change that too, so we have an accurate head count to make sure that we have the best numbers and everything's available for everyone. Okay, and here's a Kyle Cash update. So just a reminder, you will be spending your Kyle Cash for fun prizes there at the Christmas party. So right now in the lead on the leaderboard, Rebecca Beal has $26,000 in Kyle Cash. Right behind her is Naj at $21,000. Behind her is Josh at $9,200. Mila at $9,100. Kathy Gwen at $9,100. So make sure that you are putting in your Kyle Cash on your tab. It's on the team site. And just make sure you're going in and updating your Kyle Cash for approval, so it'll be in your digital wallet. That way you'll have money to spend that night. It's a really fun time. We're looking forward to it. We have a great time every year at the Christmas party. Also, I sent a reminder out about this, and I just wanted to make sure everyone has went in and put their birthday on. So on the team site, there's an upcoming birthdays button. All you have to do is put in your month and your day. We don't need to know your year, so that your name will pop up when there's a birthday coming up, so people can see it and they can send you a little birthday wish. Just a way to be able to recognize you on your special day. You get one a year, and we want to make sure that we recognize you on that day. Well, guys, We went a little over, not too much today, and we'll always do better next time. But I wanted to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. We're thankful for each and every one of you. And I hope that you have a wonderful holiday next week with your families. I'm getting to spend time together. So happy Thanksgiving and have a wonderful day.